Thousands of years ago, God chose the nation of Israel to show the world how great He was. However, the people of Israel often disobeyed God and chose to live in evil ways, so they were taken captive by different nations. One time, they were taken captive by a king named Jabin. What up? Jabin was a powerful king with a large army led by a cruel man named Sisera. I'm not cruel, I just like to hurt people. That's what cruel means. Agree to disagree. Anyway, Jabin and Sisera's army had been oppressing the people of Israel for over 20 years, and so the people of Israel cried out to God to help them. Help! 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 And even though the Israelites had turned their backs on God, God still loved them dearly, so God sent them a hero. Her name was Deborah. Okay. We don't want to sound ungrateful and all, God, but we thought you were sending us a hero, and I don't know if you know or not, but this is a woman. Wow, how very woke of you. It's 1200 BC, dude. A woman can be a hero too. Ever seen a little movie called Moana? Moana, now available on DVD and Blu-ray. I don't know what that is. All I'm saying is that at this point in history, 1200 BC, no one really thinks of women as war heroes. We were thinking of someone more like, Barack. Oh, Barack. You mean the big traditional hero? Maybe like a Maui from Disney's Moana, now streaming on Netflix? Exactly. Well, just like Maui, Barack isn't going to be the central character featured on children's bedsheet sets either, because he's not the real hero here. In fact, me and him had already had a conversation yesterday about this whole thing. Barack, God has made it clear to me that He wants you to take an army up to Mount Tabor and prepare for battle against Sisera, the leader of Jabin's army. Sisera? I'm not trying to sound like a coward here, but do you know how evil and powerful this guy is? He's got like 600 iron chariots and we have like 0 chariots. He's got 900 chariots. Was that supposed to make me feel better? I mean, I have a condition where I confuse 6s and 9s. Jeez, Deborah. What's the problem here, Barack? I will lead Sisera's army to you, and if you trust him, God will lead you and your army to victory. Don't you trust God enough to obey him? I'll do what God asks and go to battle, but only if you go with me. If you don't, I won't go. Fine. But I just want you to know that this attitude is not going to win you any points. In fact, you're going to have the reputation as the guy who needed a girl to fight his battles. I can live with that. Wow, Deborah, we really misjudged this whole situation. You really are the hero here. You're the only one who was brave enough to trust and obey God. That's what I've been saying this whole time. It's time to join us all in 1200 BC. In fact, we've misjudged all women and have a lot of apologies we need to make. And so, because Deborah trusted God enough to obey what He asked, God allowed Deborah and Barak to lead the smaller Israelite army to victory over Sisera's enormous army. The Israelite people were saved because of the trust and obedience of one person.
So, those Moana sheets were super cute and I high-key want some. And yes, I'm 20 years old and love Moana. Don't judge me. But for real, we learned in today's story that because Deborah chose to trust and obey God, then the tiny little Israelite army defeated Sisera's huge army. And I know that sometimes we are like Barak and we are scared of what's about to happen in our lives, or we are scared that things won't turn out the way that we want them to. But we should be like Deborah and choose to trust and obey God. We should choose to trust and obey God, then He can use us to allow good things to happen to us and the people around us. If God says to love people, which He did many times when He was here on earth, then we should trust and obey Him. Well, what does that look like? Well, I'll tell you. Jesus told us, "A new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another." When He says to love one another, He means to love everyone. Wait, everyone? Like the mean people, the bad people, and even the stinky people too? Yes, all of them. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And you may be thinking, but God, you see, if I love those people, then I'll be made fun of. But that's where the trust and obeying comes in. If we choose to love everyone like God loves us, then God will allow good things to happen through you. And this isn't the only thing we should trust and obey God about. There may be things going on in your life that cause you to be worried about what is going to happen in the future. Maybe your grades aren't good, or maybe there's trouble in your family. And what I want you to know is that God loves you, and He loves everyone. And when we choose to trust and obey God, then He will do great and awesome things, just like He did with Deborah's tiny little army. There may be times in your life where you think that nothing good will come out of something that is happening or has happened. But we have to choose to trust and obey God, and when we do, He will always bring good to us and the ones around us. Now let's answer a couple questions that come on the screen, and I'll see you next time.